get our warm-up, we'll get our flow, we'll get our drill, we'll do some situational wrestling live, make sure you blow out your lungs, and then you're going to kind of be on your own. Get some weight off, do what you got to do, and go from there. And you guys will be released for the day, get home to your families. All right, enjoy Thanksgiving. I think right now we're in a great spot. Had a really good preseason. Changed some things up, obviously, with the addition of Coach Molinaro and what he brings. We've done some things differently, a little bit differently. We've done a lot more live wrestling. I think our guys are in great shape for the most part, and through live wrestling, not just strength and conditioning as in years past. So that's been different, and it showed the first couple tournaments. We've had some success in the first couple tournaments. I thought we wrestled really well in our only duel, Clarion. So, you know, it's an old cliche, it's kind of boring, but we're just trying to get better and better every single day. And I think if we keep that mindset and understand there's a process to this whole season that leads up to the national tournament, we'll have a great season. You know, we just can't jump ahead and say it's all about March. There's got to be a process leading up to it, and that's what we're trying to develop this season. It's been working so far. I mean, I think it's just like every year, you know, those weren't excuses, those were just facts. You know, you get guys that are hurt, and then you have guys redshirt, and you're not really wrestling your second or third string. Sometimes in cases last year we were wrestling our fourth string. So, you know, again, they're not excuses, and if we're able to stay healthy and stay focused, we'll have a very good season. If not, there is a little bit more depth because not everybody's redshirting anymore. So, you know, we'll have guys that can back up, but I think right now our top 10 guys are a step ahead of everybody, and our backups need to, you know, pick up their level of wrestling. But if we can stay healthy and focused throughout the course of this process, we're going to have a very good year.
To win the IWA is definitely a goal of mine. 3 plus All-Americans, you know. And then I had goals recruiting-wise and, you know, achieve those, so as already success. But just the main thing is just getting these guys to wrestle hard for 7 minutes and continue to score points and continue to build their leads. It's probably one of my biggest goals, because I think if we can start doing that as a whole, I think we're going to start being a lot more successful altogether, team-wise and individually. So it's probably the main goal.
I think, you know, I say this to everybody, there's good news and bad news. The good news is we have 6 seniors, 5th-year seniors. The bad news is we have 6 5th-year seniors. So obviously we're counting on those guys. You know, they've been through the ups and downs. They've been through the war of a season. They've been through some tough schedules we put in front of them over the last 3 or 4 years. So they understand what we're trying to do, the approach we're trying to take, and the steps this program needs to take in order to be a top 10 program year in and year out. So I'm going to obviously count on those guys: Mason, Winston, Langle, Meldy, Zanetti, and Rinaldi. Those guys have had some great career. You know, have done some good things here and had a great career. So. But the reality is we need all of them. We need Billy Smith to have a great year. We need Nick Vizzacaro to have a great year. We need Vinny Delafave to have a great year. And some freshmen like, you know, Passaro and Anthony Volpe, who's actually a redshirt sophomore. But those guys have to have very good years for this team to be very good. So obviously you're seniors, but, you know, we're going to lean on Billy Smith quite a bit. He's an anchor. Most matches, for the most part, start at 125. So there'll be situations where matches come down to him, and we feel very comfortable in that. Yeah, obviously the matches that we're going to have at the RAC, you know, entertaining Iowa State is huge for this program. It's a great tradition Iowa State has, and Kevin Jackson's an Olympic champ, so that's kind of neat. They have a great program, so that's a marquee matchup. And then a week later, we host Lehigh, which we'd like to think is a rival for us, but the reality is we've never beaten them, at least since I've been here. So that's a huge match. It's a huge match for the state. It's a huge match for this program. It's a huge match for the university. So that's a big one. And then at the end of the year, we'll host Penn State. You know, 2-time defending national champs, and obviously what Cale's doing is pretty special. So they have the #1 team in the country right now, but it'll be interesting to entertain them and host them at the RAC So those are obviously some really big matchups. And then we host the EIWAs for the first time in school history. So I truly believe the EIWA conference next to the Big Ten is the best wrestling conference there is. You get to see some great Ivy League wrestling, Cornell's, UPenn, Harvard is very, very good. And then, of course, most of the Patriot schools. So it's a great wrestling conference, and we're, for the first time in the history of our program, we'll host that event. So I think our out-of-conference schedule, we really don't wrestle a conference match. We are like a dual meet format type season. It's whoever we decide to schedule. We just go out of our way to make sure we schedule Army, Navy, Lehigh, American, Princeton, Harvard, Brown. We wrestle those teams every year, and they happen to be in a conference, but they have their own separate Ivy League championship they wrestle for. We really don't wrestle for a conference championship. So we do a good job, I think, of going out of the conference and wrestling Nebraska, Iowa State, Penn State, schools like that. So that'll certainly prepare us. And then in years past, we've gone to the Midlands. We won't this year. We'll take a California swing. But all those matches prepare you for what we're going to be going into down the future in the Big Ten. We wrestle a pretty tough schedule.
Let's go, Ted. Come on, let's do it.